everybody. Welcome back to the Travel Mug Podcast, Travel Tip Tuesday. Today, I want to talk about planning your clothing for travel.
I love this topic. I'm very excited.
I definitely tend to be an overpacker, and planning clothing carefully helps me be more intentional about what I'm bringing with me. And right now, I'm just like mentally planning all of my Scotland outfits. So I want to talk about it.
You are like I admire your gusto for this journey.
I just can't wait. So the first thing that I do, and I think that you should do before you go somewhere, is check the weather. Because that's important. What's the temperature going to be like? Is it rainy? Could it snow? All of those important things to know. Right. The other thing I think about is, are you going to have laundry facilities where you're going? Like, do you have to bring clothes for every day, or are you able to wash your clothes halfway through? Which that's what we did on our honeymoon in England. We did not have laundry facilities, but I did pack laundry soap and I washed all of our stuff in the kitchen sink, and then I hung it all around our apartment. So
was that nice and stiff afterwards?
Oh, it was so great.
I loved it so much.
But it did the trick, you know?
Yes, I totally get it.
Also, I think about like, what do we have planned? So like, do you have a fancy dinner or like an event you're going to? Maybe you're going to do a photographer shoot and you want to bring some fancy clothes. I am not looking forward to going to Scotland and having to drag around my bridesmaid's dress.
You know,
like the whole 2 weeks that I'm going to wear it once, because if I wore it another time, I'd look ridiculous probably.
And the thing about the bridesmaid's dress, think about this, is afterwards you can just shove it however you
I
need.
know, like shove it in there.
Yeah, you don't need to be careful once the wedding's over.
I know. The wedding's halfway through though, so it's kind of
okay.
Yeah.
So halfway through you're gonna be like, fold it neatly, just work around the dress, and you'll be like, screw the dress, just put it in there. You're done.
Definitely. And so the last like couple of trips that I've done outside of Thunder Bay were to Florida. And so it's so easy when you're going somewhere warm just to throw like flip-flops, t-shirts, tank tops, and shorts in a bag and be good. But like always bring a sweater. Always bring a sweater. I don't care if you're going to the sun, bring a sweater.
Always.
Because air conditioning, and also like nights can get chilly, but also like your body adjusts to that temperature, and all of a sudden 20 feels cold, even though 20 in Nova Scotia, I'm wearing a tank top and shorts. So,
and if you get sunburned, you feel chillier once the sun goes down as well. So that's also when a sweater comes in handy.
Yes, for sure. I always pack extra socks and underwear just in case. Just in case. At least a couple of extra pairs of each. Doesn't have to be like, don't pack double the amount you need, because then that's crazy. And shoes. So let me tell you how much trouble I'm having with shoes going to Scotland, because I currently have 4 pairs planned and I know that's too many.
Right.
And I'm like,
what kind of shoes do you have planned? Obviously a formal pair, probably for the wedding.
Yes. And then I have like my Vessi shoes that are like everyday wear around town kind of shoes. And then I need hiking types shoes for Ben Nevis. And then I also want to bring my Birkenstocks, because those are the most comfortable shoes I have. And if it's warm enough and dry enough, that's what I want to wear walking around. But that is 4 pairs of shoes. But I mean, the wedding shoes and the hiking things are kind of non-negotiable. And then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, you could always put the Birks in your carry-on and save some room there. And then essentially that's 3 pairs. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
That's how I would take. And if you know you're going to use them, I'll just take them. Stop stressing about it. Call it a day.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the little packing therapy.
My pleasure.
Usually I would take like 2 pairs of shoes, maybe 3. Usually 2 is what I would try to take on a trip like this. But I mean, when you have formal events and hiking, it's a whole other ball game. But do you tend to be an overpacker or no?
Sometimes, yes, I've gotten better over the years and over the traveling. I remember one trip, I think it was south somewhere, but I can't remember. And I used every outfit. Was I ever excited? I'm like, I packed exactly what I need. I did it. I was like, this is the crescendo of travel. So yeah, sometimes, but I've gotten better with like packing less pants, use those for 2 days, like definitely extra underwear and socks, although those are easy to wash in a sink if you need to.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do extras of those as well. Shoes I always have a hard time with, so I'm glad I could give advice to you. I don't know. But I have gotten better with like layering and pants and those kind of things. So yes and no, honestly, depends on the trip and depends on the size of my suitcase.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, like a road trip is totally different than like a down south trip is totally different from a Europe trip. Like the stuff.
Oh, a road trip is beautiful because you have the car and you're just like, I'll just toss this crap into it. It doesn't matter. The road trip is the easiest.
That is the easiest. But it definitely leads you to overpacking, like for sure. Cause you're like, it doesn't matter. Like I have space, but you're still dragging around all the stuff that you don't necessarily need.
Oh no, it's very true. And I'm married to a minimalist. Like he only takes exactly what he needs and somehow it works out for him. And I'm just like, you brought like one pair of pants and I swear you've worn 7. Like, I don't know how he does it, but yeah, like he's really good at it. And then I, not so much. I actually have sat in the room we're in right now and I've like sat on the floor amongst all of these piles and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. So I've had my moments, but I have gotten better.
Yes, definitely. Well, cool. That's all we have for this week. Amount of clothing. We don't have a super secret way to do it, but maybe we should have brought Peter on to tell us.
I know Peter should be here telling us how to properly pack. But I really think if you plan for weather and you double up on some days, you won't overpack if you really put that mindset into it, in my opinion.
I love it. Perfect. All right. Well, thanks for listening to this Travel Tip Tuesday. As always, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at the Travel Mug Podcast. You can find us on our website, travelmugpodcast.com. We're everywhere. You can find us on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave us a nice review because we like to read those. And yeah, perfect. Have a good week and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye, everyone.